Sawadika and good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nabuna.
I'm Frank Kanshi.
And we'll begin tonight with the latest developments following the leaked phone call between Paetongtarn and Hun Sen. And the recent development is that the NACC will launch an investigation into the suspended Prime Minister's ethical misconduct. So the National Anti-Corruption Commission announced on Monday that it will launch a full panel investigation over the leaked phone call between suspended Prime Minister Paetongtarn-Thai and Cambodian Senate President Hun Sen, which have led to the suspension of Paetongtarn's duties as the country's leader. And this actually follows a complaint from former senators who have accused Paetongtarn of violating ethical standards. And if the panel finds that there is sufficient evidence, it can actually formally charge Paetongtarn and refer the case to the Supreme Court. This means that Paetongtarn could face a lifetime ban from politics if she is convicted. And this is actually already on top of the Constitutional Court's decision to suspend her from her duties as the Prime Minister. And if she is found guilty from the Constitutional Court, that means she will be ousted from office. But for this particular case, if it goes to the NACC and the NACC refers it to the Supreme Court, then she might face a lifetime ban from politics.
It means that, of course, Paetongtarn right now is still holding hot potatoes at this moment. No matter it's from, as what you said, former senators, or we still have to wait for the investigation and the result.
Exactly. Yes. And at the same time, it's not only the NACC who has decided to launch a panel discussion, a panel investigation, but the Cybercrime Investigation Division has also submitted its findings to the Office of the Attorney General of the leaked phone call as well.
Yeah, and the commander of the Cyber Investigation Division say that the submission is part of the process for an offense which occurred outside Thai territory, and it is for the OAG to consider whether or not an arrest warrant will be issued or not. So, Ned, I think right now for the phone call leaked by the Cambodians right now, in which Paetongtarn is heard criticizing a lot. We've seen the power struggle, no matter in domestic politics or outside of Thailand, international relations between Thailand and Cambodia. Now, maybe Prime Minister Paetongtarn, or suspended Prime Minister Paetongtarn right now, her destiny is quite doomed at this moment, because we have to, as what you said, we have to wait for OAG for the investigation. But actually, one information I could talk to you, Ned. Yesterday, I was at the French National Day reception. I talked to so many MPs from different parties. Their vision, what they predict for Paetongtarn, most of them say that they wouldn't predict she would come back as Prime Minister anymore. Because this is just the political instability right now, and as what I said, the power struggle in politics too.
And the chances of her returning to office is very slim right now, considering that the case has already gone to the Constitutional Court. Now it's the NACC, and if the NACC found sufficient evidence, they can actually charge her and refer to the Supreme Court. And that means either way, Paetongtarn will never be the Prime Minister ever again if it's finalized, if there's a verdict saying that, okay, what she did is ethical misconduct.
Yeah, and that's what they said according to those MPs. Of course, I'm not going to disclose their parties.
Yeah, but there are many parties there.
There are many parties there. Of course, the opposition and the coalition parties too. But they see actually right now political world of sphere in Thailand right now is still very chaotic. Of course, we see acting Prime Minister Paetongtarn right now trying to fix many things, no matter in politics or in the economy. But for Pheu Thai, of course, they want suspended Prime Minister Paetongtarn to come back. But what about the possibility here? Might be pretty low.
Yeah, very low and very slim because of the leaked phone call that actually shook not just Thailand and Cambodia, but also the world. And this already poses the biggest threat yet to not just to Paetongtarn, not just to the Shinawatra family. But keep in mind that she has only been in office for just a year because you remember last year where former Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin was also ousted by the Constitutional Court, and Paetongtarn might be facing the same fate as Srettha and her predecessors. So it's very likely that this cycle would go on.
And international communities, actually ambassadors or envoys right now, they are in Thailand, they are closely watching what happened really in politics too. As what you said, Srettha was on the seat for a year or a little bit over than that and was ousted. And right now, Paetongtarn's turn.
Exactly. And it might be very likely for some people that she might end up the same way with Thaksin and also Yingluck as well.
So people actually are also predicting who will be the next prime minister.
Yeah, there are many choices here, but if it's from the Pheu Thai party, there's only one left, which is Chai Kasem Nittisiri, who is the last candidate of the Pheu Thai party. Remember, during the general elections in 2023, there were three candidates, Srettha, Paetongtarn, and Chai Kasem. So now that Srettha has been ousted, Paetongtarn may be ousted if the Constitutional Court ruled that she is found guilty of ethical misconduct. There's only Chai Kasem left.
But actually, I think we have to mention about the latest poll
Yeah.
for the former Prime Minister, Prayut Chan-o-cha, to come back. What a surprise for some people, I mean, on the ground.
Yeah, very surprising because he has been in office for about 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years, that is a very long time. And now that he has already quit politics, he became the Privy Councillor, but if he is going to return to office, he has to resign as the Privy Councillor first before he can take that seat. But it is still quite unlikely considering that he took power for over 8 and 9 years. That has exceeded the limit of a prime minister here in Thailand.
But to balance the point a little bit, I think because for some groups of people on the ground in Thailand, they see Prayut Chan-o-cha is a saver for the country, as in right now, of course, we see instability no matter in politics or in the economy, but maybe the presence of Prayut Chan-o-cha can really stabilize Thailand a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, but there were other options as well, such as Anutin from the Phumjai Thai party, and there are also other people as well, like Pirapan of the United Thai Nation party. They were actually among the top choices according to the recent opinion poll by Anita. So that's quite interesting, but who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Paetongtarn
may be ousted or not. Who will be the next prime minister? Let's not predict that yet.
Time will tell. We will see that soon.
Yeah, time will tell, but there is one thing that we could tell for sure is the recent sex scandals involving senior monks, and that has shook the country, especially those who are Buddhists. And the recent development is that the woman involved in the sex scandal has already been arrested. But then there is a significant development here as well, is that there will be tighter controls on temples' bank accounts, and this will come into force this October. So a ministerial regulation will come into force on October 1st this year, which requires all public donations and temple proceeds to be paid into the bank accounts of temples and imposing a limit of 100,000 baht in the bank account or personal possession of a monk or an abbot. All temple bank accounts and personal bank accounts of the temple abbots will be audited monthly to ensure that the spending is proper and to prevent misuse of the money, especially by habits. And this regulation, coupled with several other restrictions under consideration by the Sangha Supreme Council and the National Office of Buddhism, coincide with a public outcry over multiple sex scandals in which at least 20 senior monks are implicated, and so far the women involved in these sex scandals have been arrested today. And most of the cases involve the alleged misuse of temple funds or the personal accounts of several senior monks involving a woman, like we said, identified as Gak. She has already been arrested because she has been alleged to have had close or intimate relationships with the senior monks. And Prime Minister's Office Minister Chusak Sirinin said that he has been assigned by the Pheu Thai Party to draft a bill to address financial mismanagement of temple funds by unruly senior monks. He said that the bill will seek criminal penalties for monks who are convicted of committing disciplinary infractions, such as involvement in sex scandals, as well as laymen or women involved. And another PM Office Minister, Paetongtarn-Thai, visited Somdet Praputhajaan, a member of the Sangha Supreme Council, recently for a discussion about how to deal with monks implicated in these scandals, such as the recent sex scandals, and most importantly, how the temple funds and public donations to temples are to be properly managed, because this has been a huge issue here. Because just a few months ago, we talked about this scandal involving an abbot of the famous Rai King Temple who has been alleged of embezzlement, misappropriating money from the temple for personal gain and specifically gambling. So there are scandals here and there, and many people have felt, what is wrong with the monks in Thailand? Because there's this saying in Thailand that เมืองไทยเป็นเมืองพุทธ Thailand is supposed to be a Buddhist country, but then all of a sudden there are scandals, sex scandals and embezzlement scandals coming from monks.
It's a very sensitive issue, I think, because of course, as what you said, Thailand and Buddhism are well embedded together, connected together in a way that, of course, sometimes like me as a foreigner or local Thai, we go to temple, we also Wai Pra too. We also give donations to temples, to monks too. So actually there's a very high standard of morality inside. But now, the sex scandals are always connected or often connected with monks now, especially talk about embezzlement too. How can temples, according to the law, according to the regulation, really manage public donations well, rather than going into just monks' pockets?
I think we managed to point out one big loophole here, Frank, is that when we think of a monk or a temple, it's something that is supposed to be highly respected. And people put so much value when it comes to making merit. So people don't tend to question how the donations will be used, because people would think that, oh, if I donate so much money to the temple, it will definitely be used for a good cause. And people, because of this belief, people would not have a second thought as to whether this money will be misused or used for other things that they did not know about.
And as what you said, from Warai King to this incident now, so how can not just Thai people, I think, because foreigners, foreign tourists, when they come to Thailand, they also want to experience Buddhism too in Thailand. How can people really believe in Thai Buddhism now? I think that's the key, because as what you said, we always pay respect, high respect to monks, of course to Buddhism as a religion too. But now, when it links with criminal stories, how can we really believe in that, the pureness of Thai Buddhism?
Well, Thai Buddhism would be like a broad idea. But then the question is, how can we believe in Thai monks, especially considering the scandals that involve senior monks, to be very specific. And when you think of senior monks, that means they should be highly respected. But then they end up being involved in these. And that goes against the Buddhist values.
Yeah, so I think, of course, in Thailand, we have the Thai Buddhism Authority too.
Yeah.
I think they will find a way to really make this system intact and complete in a way that, in terms of course, public donations, and how can monks and temple really manage that big sum of money.
Yes, and also how they audit the temple's money as well, because most of the time it's internally regulated, but it's not centralized. So it's very difficult to track all of the temples across Thailand, because imagine having to audit 40,000 temples all across Thailand. That is going to be very, very difficult. And considering that there are very large temples and small temples, some are even like unrecognized by the regulators. So how can you audit all of that? So this is what really needs to be fixed. And now there is a ministerial regulation. Hopefully it will actually try to make things a better standard.
Yeah, so make important techniques right now and policy to really help Thailand's Buddhism to gain trust from people too. And now we have to move it to economy, because of course Thailand right now, we're still seeing that 36% tariff from the United States from Trump's administration. But Pichai Chunghawachira right now say that the Ministry of Finance will cooperate with state-owned banks to provide soft loans to SMEs and agricultural sector. So the government will set aside about 200 billion baht in soft loans for small and medium-sized enterprises to cushion the impact of new tariffs on import of Thai goods to the United States market. Finance Minister Pichai Chunghawachira, of course, chief of Thailand's team right now, still negotiating tariff with the US, but right now say that we haven't seen win-win scenario, but a zero-sum game here, because I understand that Pichai and the team targeted to lower the tariff to 20% or just over 20% for Vietnam's rate, because it's at 20%. So we can really put that rate similar to each other, but it's pretty difficult at this point. And as such said, Pichai said that Thailand has little choice but to open its market to the United States. But actually, some also concerned over if we really open the market to the US, Thailand's agricultural sector will wither in a point. So as what Pichai said, currently levied on many imports from the US agricultural sector, automotive and energy sector, estimated to account for 90% of the value of US imports to Thailand. And of course, talking about the importance net, 1st August, the deadline here, because actually yesterday I talked to TDRI Director of Intelligence Unit, Dr. Girida Paupiti. Dr. Girida also say that we still have room right now to lower the tariff, but the key question is how much we going to open the market for the United States. Because, for example, for corn, for maize, in Thailand, we do not produce that much, so of course we can open the market to the United States. But for export industry, they are at the front line to receive impact, because, of course, according to National Shippers Council, they say that exports will decrease around 30% year-on-year basis in July. It's a very huge impact to export. So I think right now, Thailand also, according to Kasikorn Research Center, we might see contraction in terms of GDP growth in the second half of 2025 for Thailand, 1.4% maybe for the whole year. Still see the growth, but it's very low, 1.4% compared to other countries too, Ned.
most of the economic institutions, not just Gasikar Research Center, predicted that Thailand's GDP for this year would only be around 1 or 2%, no more than 2%. And if you compare this to other nearby countries, we are the lowest. And this is threatening for Thailand, especially the Thai economy, considering that they're facing numerous challenges. And now the trade tariffs that have not changed since earlier this year, and with the recent letter that has been sent by President Donald Trump to Thailand, no changes, 36%. So that means Trump may not be happy with the proposal that has been sent earlier. And now it's how the Thai government, especially Pichai Chunhawashira, who is leading the Thai negotiating team, how will they convince President Trump to reduce that trade tariffs to their target, which is around 20%? But looking at the challenges is not easy. And in fact, we don't really have much details as to how Vietnam or other countries managed to reduce that trade tariffs from like 40% to 20%. What's in the deal?
In the deal is that before we got these new stories coming up in recent weeks, of course, Pichai already brought that no matter 5-point proposal or 3-point proposals to import more energy, to maybe to buy more jets from the United States. But of course, President Trump didn't buy that. If he would have bought it, of course, we would get lower rates now, but it's not possible for at this moment. So what can Thailand do? So Ajahn does say that actually we have very, very good quality of infrastructural projects, infrastructural capacity right now, no matter it's electricity, port, airport. We also have a capability to produce biotech products compared to other regions too. Also, Thailand is very good at producing silks that other countries cannot compete with us. So now, it depends on what the government can do right now and what can they offer. Do they really choose the way of Vietnam did as to open Thailand's market 0% tariff for US products? Some agricultural sectors could accept that because it's not competition. We don't compete with other countries in the region. But what about others? Of course, right now, Peter already said that, okay, 200 billion baht soft loan project to SMEs and agricultural sector. Is that enough? We will see that very soon, Nat.
Frank, I think you pointed out one thing that Thailand could compete. Crafts and locally produced products like silk or even handcrafted products. That could be something that they could use to convince. But then I don't know whether this will actually work. This will depend on how they will actually propose the Trump administration, because if we can guess, what has been mentioned in the 5-point proposal that was sent to Trump earlier, maybe that is something that all countries may have proposed as well. So that is why Thailand doesn't seem to stand out.
Very good point there. And of course, we have to see China's action too, because if they get very high number of tariff rate there, they have to dump their products to other part of the world because it's too expensive in US market. They have to find other parts of the world to sell their products to. So how can Thailand tackle that?
Exactly, because there have been a lot of stories of the influx of Chinese products flowing into Thailand and nearby countries as well. So Thailand has to deal with a lot of that and how they will tackle it.
Very critical timing for us, Nat.
Exactly.
For economy and the politics too.
Well, politics, economy, and having to navigate geopolitics as well. The new world order. This is going to be very tough for the current government, especially now that Paetongtarn is suspended from Prime Minister. So there's a lot of instability here.
Right.
So we'll have to wait for the next chapter.
Yeah, let's see. Very
Exactly. And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
soon. สวัสดีครับ